Author entry, June 18th, 2020. Well, today is the first log entry for this pod log, so let me explain a little bit about what a pod log is, at least what I'm trying to accomplish here. Many authors do a blog or a weblog or a vlog, a video log. I have been doing some podcasting, and as a result, I thought that doing an audio blog essentially would be a useful way to communicate with interested parties, hopefully readers. In this podlog, I fashioned it a little bit after Star Trek's Captain Kirk, captain's log, star date, blah, 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 blah. And I thought that was an interesting approach to sharing some thoughts and ideas, but essentially a potpourri and a riff of sorts on whatever the topics for this particular log entry are. For today, I wanted to explain a little bit about what the podlog is and then talk about Saga in two different ways. A saga is a long story of heroic achievement, and writing and getting a book published is often a heroic effort and hopefully has a corresponding achievement to go with it. Certainly in the case of my upcoming release, book one of the Saga of Venom and Flame, that book's title is Serpent Rising. It has been a saga. This has been a project that started over 4 years ago with research, extensive, writing the book, editing the book, pitching it to agents and publishers, finding a publisher who was willing to back the project, and then going through additional editing. And now we're poised for release, and I'm quite excited about that. In the context of this pod log, I will be providing additional background information about the book and perhaps nuances that will make the reading experience hopefully more enjoyable. Turning now to the book, or the two-novel series title, Saga of Venom and Flame. That has significant underlying meaning and was chosen after a deliberative process. The basic element that drove me passionately to write this book had to do with the notion of truth and falsehood, and how humankind finds it difficult to distinguish between truth and falsehood, and as a result, it makes them vulnerable, or they can be preyed upon through the use of propaganda and mind control techniques, and essentially be fed half-truths and lies in order to support an agenda, which is often an agenda of control of some sort. So I wanted to put this notion of truth versus falsehood in the context of human history. And in that sense, it's a very, very long story, which readers who have read the novel, or who will read the novel, will see dates back to the dawn of civilization. And I have fashioned the battle between truth and falsehood as the war of the two serpents. The whole serpent thing is a polarity, and I'll discuss that in a future podlog. But the forces representing control and promoting falsehood are really represented in the venom of lies, as opposed to the flame, which is the flame of truth, which will expose those lies, burn them away. And essentially, this is a great war between these opposing polarities that the story of truth and the warriors for truth, the so-called light bearers or light bringers, of which the heroine learns that she has a hidden destiny as a light bringer. But I don't want to get too further into the story today. I try to keep these podlog episodes below 5 minutes. So thanks for joining me today, and stay tuned for future recordings. Signing off.